Oh, there it is, I guess.
Here comes the mixture.
So, it's purple.
Oh. What flavor is that again? Blueberry?
This is blueberry.
I feel like I've had it before, but that's it.
Do you want to try some?
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
And then we're going to take the cherry. Oh!
It's actually not bad. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Sorry, Matt.
That's pretty good. Oh, no, that's good with me. I don't usually drink Red Bull.
Oh, this is
not bad, actually.
But
I feel like that's dangerous because that might start making me drink Red Bull.
Well, I'm sorry. Well,
maybe one of these guys.
Mix it with growers. All right. Well,
chases with gin and tonic.
We're getting welcome to mixology.
Yes.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's up, Grzly Den?
Hello.
I'm Alien Matt.
What's up, everybody? My name's Christian.
Oh yes, and I'm Braden.
And you are?
My name is Braden at K-Town Yamaha.
I'm Strobe. Hello.
And today we have our second DJ. We're our second DJ that we're interviewing.
Second guest ever.
Second guest. That's what I was trying to do.
No,
third. This is our third guest. Our third guest is Strobe. He resides in Vernon, BC, as far as I know, unless he's moved in last week.
No, definitely still there.
Congrats
still there.
for staying there.
Not happy about it.
Thanks for coming over here, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Drinks.
Cheers.
Yeah, he drinks Red Bull and Dr. Pepper.
And Dr. Pepper. Yes. Well, I'm seeing what I can. The best mixed drink I can do.
It's the best intro ever.
The best part is the wine glass. Like you just
Thank you.
You gotta be classy.
I'm trying to stay sophisticated. Anyways, so thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
We are very excited to pick your brain and get to know you a bit more.
I can't wait myself. I want to.
This is going to go on every dating platform that you can think of. So we're going to ask you very personal questions.
Oh boy.
First off, my personal favorite question is, how did you come up with Strobe?
How did I come up with it?
Your favorite Dead Mouse song is Strobe?
At the time I started out, I used to actually play that song a lot.
I
still love that song.
I guessed it. Yes.
I still play that song a lot. Like, I don't really play it anymore, but I used to play it a lot. Definitely one of my favorite songs for sure. But no, Strobe, I think it kind of just came out of nowhere. I tried a bunch of names before. Like my name before was like Bot. And then I literally tried using my own full name, like I was Jason Saray at first, right? And none of it ever clicked. The Strobe thing came around when I kind of had the idea about just the 5, is the 5 being the S in Strobe.
Fair enough.
And that can be used really, really well in concert. Like, it's a good logo to have just 5, and all my songs are, like, it has to have an S in it, right? And all those S's get changed to 5, so it's kind of the idea I had with that one, at least, yeah.
It's like Scuba Q, everything's a uppercase Q.
Yeah, exactly. Start something like that.
That's cool.
So much like Matt, when people like say your name, do they call it 5TROBE?
Man, you have no idea. It gets pretty ridiculous. Most people don't know it's Strobe unless I tell them it's Strobe. They straight off the bat they just won't know. It's usually like, you heard of that 5TROBE guy? And I'm like, sure. Whatever you say, yeah.
No, I think
but that's not a bad thing either, though. You know, because like if someone still remembers me and they're like, yeah, you know that 5TROBE guy, it's like. As long as you remember.
It's
cool.
Exactly.
Still, like, I don't think anyone else is named 5TROBE, right?
People are gonna look you up as 5TROBE, and so and then they'll find out that they've been pronouncing it wrong the whole time. But
all it takes is me having to be like, Strobe. Actually, that's all it really takes.
Get into the leet speak, man. It's only been like 20 years.
Yeah, right.
It's true. People come up to me and they're like, Forley and Matt, what's up? I'm like, close, but no. So, going off of that, how long have you been DJing or producing?
DJing, well, so I'm 21 now. I think DJing 9 years, I believe.
Wow.
I think I started when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
Or, well, I got into it when I was 12, and when I was 13, I bought my first mixer, and that's when I started. It was only like shortly after that I actually started performing shows, because I got a really good like inning in Vernon.
But
cool. So it's been, I think 8-9 years for that, and then producing, like probably just about 3 by now, I think. I took the Dead Mouse master class. I don't know if you saw anything about that. The trailer.
Yeah, I heard of
that.
that.
I had to take that. That was one of the first ones. Like I had taken some like starter like beginner courses before that, just like random things I found online and such. And then the Dead Mouse course came out, and that's really what set it off, for sure. It was okay.
Yeah,
it was all right.
Was it worth the price?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. He taught me a lot of things that I never would have like pictured. One of the biggest things were like, if you stay up a lot later than you should, and say you start getting overtired, your brain starts getting a lot less critical of your thinking about your music. So when you sit there and you're like, oh, this isn't good enough, doesn't sound good enough, or whatever the hell. If you stay up late enough, even like an hour or two later, then suddenly your brain starts just not giving as much of a fuck. I guess
that's cool.
That's one of the things I learned, at least.
I mean, I can definitely agree with that, because I've definitely stayed up later than I probably should have, even on work days.
Yeah.
And then it's like I should be sleeping, but I'm not, and then you start producing stuff, and then you listen to it the next
this
day.
white noise sounds great.
Yeah. And then you wake up and you listen to it, and you're like, what was I thinking?
Are there times when that can actually work
on the
to your
mixer?
benefit? Because I feel like there's times when you could overthink something way too much, and then you take that little bit of time. You don't go to sleep when you should. You add something in, and then you wake up the next morning. You're like, wow, that's actually really good. I feel like the odd time that could help, right?
It's worked to my benefit actually a lot. I learned that one like just after taking that class, and it has helped a lot, because there's so many times where I just sit around when I'm making music and I'm so critical about like everything. You know, if something doesn't sound right, or I'm working on a track for a little bit too long, say if I sit there for half an hour and then it's just not working and then I delete it, it's a piss off, right? So then I noticed, even just an hour later, staying up that long, like your brain just starts like not giving a fuck at all.
Oh,
Yeah, it's actually, it has been a benefit. Yeah.
Bouncing off of that, you've mentioned Dead Mouse once or twice. You took his master class. Now, another one of my favorite questions is,
stole his number.
So, other than what I can assume is Dead Mouse is your number one inspiration, are there any other inspirations?
He's not my number one inspiration. Not even. I love him, obviously. Who doesn't like Dead Mouse? If you know anything about it, he's great. But my name or anything I've done actually hasn't been inspired by him at all. Believe it or not.
Fair enough.
It just so happens that he has like a song called Strobe, and then he's got the 5 in his name, so everyone just assumes that. But no, like.
Do you ever get play Strobe?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, a couple times. Most people actually tell me in person, and they're always like, "Oh, so you're like with the 5 in your name, and your name's Strobe. You should play Strobe by Dead Mouse."
Clever.
Yeah, thank
I've heard
you.
that one before.
Yeah, for real. Now, my main inspiration when I started when I was 12 was actually Skrillex.
Oh,
it's always been
Scary
Skrillex.
Monsters.
And nice surprise.
Yeah, I heard Scary Monsters for the first time in art class. Actually, I was like grade 9 or something like that, and someone put it on. I had no idea what dubstep was. I was just getting out of bands. Like I had done the singing and the guitar playing and stuff. Like I gave it a try.
Oh, that's cool.
And then someone played it in art class, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for music. And suddenly, I learned who this Skrillex guy is. Right, I started hearing Scary Monsters, like Reptile, stuff like that, and then I figured out after doing a little bit of research, I was like, oh, wait, so I just have to get myself a mixer. I can do it all myself. I don't need a band. Like, cool. I like this. And then the not even just dubstep in general, just like electronic music in a whole was just so like intriguing to me.
Oh, that's cool.
Like I loved it like from the second I heard it straight off the bat, and it hasn't really stopped. So yeah, he's definitely been the biggest inspiration, I think.
No, looks like
Awesome.
What was your first mixer?
My first mixer, it was like I think it was called like the Hercules RMX or something. It was like this big, like this tiny, maybe about this size metal piece of hardware.
had the tiniest jog wheels on it.
Yeah, and it had like, it was so beginner that it had like 6 buttons on each side that were all just like flanger and like reverb and you know, just the most average stuff you can think of. But it's like press of a button and it'd be like shoo, right? Like,
It's like Fisher Price presets.
Straight up. And then the jog wheels were like the size of the bottom of this can.
Yeah.
Like literally. But yeah, that's what I started with. I played with that for a few years and progressed from a few mixers from there. But I had that one for a good 2, maybe 3 years or something. I actually played with that, and that's surprising for how how crappy it was.
Yeah, I can definitely agree because that was the first mixer that I picked up.
Oh, you too?
Yeah, back in like, oh goodness, about 10 years ago. Yeah, so like that was when I first started messing around with it. So
yeah,
I definitely know how incapable but capable that mixer was.
Well, you make it work, especially like when you first started. That was the first one I bought. At the time, it was like $400 in store. Now, if you go to get it, you can probably get it for $100, maybe even cheaper than that if you look at the right place. But that's, I guess, what happens over the years.
I mean,
but
for an entry mixer, it's good.
Yeah, it definitely taught me some stuff. Taught me how to do like DJing as a general for sure.
That's cool.
But I really didn't like the size of the jog wheels. No. I didn't like that because when you're trying to do the cool scratchy stuff, you're like.
You can't really do anything with your palm. You want me to put your palm on there.
What is he doing?
I could put my entire palm over it and I could just do that.
Yeah, I mean, you could call yourself a scratcher at that point. Now
you can put your drink on it and just...
Yeah, basically just turn the drink. Place it and just...
going more into like gear software, what do you use to produce?
So I never so I started out with FL Studio just like anyone and I never bought it either. I just I never bought it. I didn't torrent it either. Actually, I just started learning because everyone else seemed to have had it, and I had no idea like how to produce or what the programs were or nothing. Yeah. People just showed me, and they were just like, "Here's what FL Studio is," right? So that's where I started, but I didn't use it very much. I just got learned the basics, like where the effects were and how to place a regular drum beat, and that didn't last very long. I got a really good deal on Ableton, like the suite, and since then I haven't really gone back. I think amongst software, at least from what I know, that the two best programs to me are probably Ableton and Logic, I believe, and I think that's because the audio effects built inside of both of those programs are professional enough for you to not actually have to buy plugins and actually have to get other stuff, even though you do. Yeah. Right? Like, I have plenty of other plugins, but I've never went back on that because, like, I know people, like, the biggest DJs in the world are still using just the straight out, the reverb coming, like, right out of Ableton, right? All of it's the same, and it's good enough to be, like, professional, I guess. So, yeah, I've been using Ableton for, I guess, about 3 years, or something like that. And I love Ableton. It's good. Yeah. It's a really good program, for sure.
Fun fact about Fruity Loops, Deadmau5 also was on the development team for Fruity Loops.
Was he really?
Yes. And then Kellogg's filed a cease and desist on them. Kellogg's? And that's why they had to call it FL Studio. So, breakfast cereal.
Wow.
Deadmau5 just does not have the best things. Deadmau5 just does not have the best reputation with trademarks because didn't he get sued by Disney a couple years ago?
I don't know.
No,
recently?
Yeah, because his helmet looked a lot like Mickey Mouse's.
Oh, yeah. No, I did hear about something about this. Something, at least.
But it wasn't like super public because Disney didn't want like majority of public to know. So I think he went on to the H3H3 podcast and they talked about it briefly. And so, but for majority of, but it wasn't like on Fox News or anything because majority of people didn't care about Fox News.
Of course, popular DJ gets sued by Disney. I heard something about that.
Yeah,
I don't exactly.
But then it didn't become like good enough news for like Facebook or like news networks to talk about it a lot. So
I guess the Deadmau5 head sort of does kind of look like Mickey Mouse if you think about it. But then it's totally different though. Yeah. Right. He's got his own design on it, like his own circular figure. Plus, it's got like the X's in the eyes because it's a dead mouse, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it's completely different. I think they're just being a couple haters.
Yeah. As far as I know, his logo is always incorporated the entire face too, and Disney's always just the silhouette.
Yeah, they're like, we designed this, and it looks close enough, so screw you.
Yeah, those trademark lawsuits, too, are like, they're difficult. Like, most of the time, the people who end up suing people for trademark, for something that I think is like a copied idea, it's not. Oh, like, it's really hard to win those lawsuits in court.
Yeah.
If you're the plaintiff, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just stupid. I guess with how big like Deadmau5 got and how big Disney is, I can understand why they'd go at each other because there's probably a lot of money involved in that too, right? Yeah, so that's very easily like figured out, but still stupid to me. I think.
Oh yeah,
I think
nonetheless.
And for one of the last final questions, so since you've been performing for a couple years, are there any like highlights in your career that really stood out that you never expected when you first got into DJing?
When I first got into it?
Yeah.
After I started, when I was about 13, I recently just, like, I don't know if you ever heard of the Teen Nights in Vernon?
Yeah, briefly, yeah.
Those things, those were, like, Vernon's Vernon, right? So you can't expect too much. They can't be, like, gigantic. But for Vernon, they were huge. At the time, they were getting sold out every single time. With a bunch of teens, of course. Yeah. But I was a teen myself. Still. I was, like, 14. When that stuff
selling out at 14. That's
and so I thought that was really, really cool, and we did those every single month. What happened was I got into it because he put on a competition. The guy who was running it, he put on a competition. He was like, I want a DJ to open for the next show, so send me your mixes. And then there was only like 5 to 8 of us who put in mixes. The difference was, and I think the only reason I stood out on that one was because I got someone to like record a video of me doing the entire mix live as opposed to just like a SoundCloud link.
Yeah.
And I knew like straight off the bat that would work, and it did. And like I won that one straight off the bat. So that one, cool. Yeah, that was cool. That's kind of what got me to do the Teen Nights like every other month. After that. So that was the first highlight. Second, I don't know. I opened for Sunreal when I was like 15.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was cool
that's
too.
Really cool.
It's only because of how good the Teen Nights were doing too.
Yeah.
It's like they were just blowing up, and then these adults running clubs were like messaging me like, "Hey man, you want to play this show?" I'm like, "Who's it
sick.
Opening for Sunreal?"
What kind of question
like, am I supposed to say no?
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, let me get back to you.
I have to think. I
got better things to do.
Yeah. So for the final question, we're already halfway through 2019, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Where did it go?
Are there any is there anything coming up that you want to talk about or that you can talk about that you want the public to know?
Anything like amongst music or
music,
like shows
clubs.
I'm not exactly like particularly. I'm trying to keep myself busy.
Oh, fair enough.
Like recently, I've been having a lot of writer's block though, so that's kind of unfortunate. But it happens to the best of us.
Oh, exactly.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything major to expect. At least nothing that I have planned. But stuff always ends up popping up, right? Like me and you were just playing that show for Walter Wild. That just happened. True. That was cool.
Which none of us expected that.
Like it just happens out of nowhere, right? And I was fortunate enough to be a part of that. Thank you, by the way. Gonna give you that.
Yeah, not gonna say much, but he wants to come back, so.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. We had a good ass time with him.
He had a good time, and I mean, we all had a good time too. So.
I like how he was just like such a down to earth type of guy, as opposed to you expect this headliner artist to show up and expect him to be a little bit different, maybe a little cocky, maybe a little bit something. No, he was just this guy. He was just like a guy who's just down to earth, super fucking cool, and then he played a sick set.
Yeah,
that's always the best.
Yeah, and he was drinking, he was smoking with me, like he's just a guy.
And then I drove
just
him
one
back
of the bros.
to the
exactly.
Yeah, no, I drove him back to the airport the next morning. He's like, I have to come back.
And thank God. Yes.
Yeah, no,
that's good to hear.
That's awesome.
So that's gonna happen. So to send the episode off, are there any social media links you want the world to know of, to follow you, to hit you up, to slide into your DMs? Because remember, this is going on a dating site, so.
Let's see. I mean, I do. The most popular ones are like my Facebook page and my Snapchat. I obviously have an Instagram. I don't do anything much over that.
No MySpace?
No.
Justin,
is that thing still even happening?
As far as I know, yes.
It's still.
But you can't sign up.
Really?
Well, I mean, no, you probably can. I'd say that because last time I tried to sign up.
No, because Justin Timberlake bought it and kind of shot that down.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Justin Timberlake bought MySpace.
It's gonna be MySpace.
Back in 2012, 2013, he bought it out and completely.
That's terrible.
What? So did he buy it out like expecting anything to happen?
Oh yeah,
Probably.
No. He was trying to make it the next before. This was 2 years before Spotify blew up, and so he was trying to do what Spotify was eventually gonna do.
Yeah.
And kind of didn't work out for him.
There's a late night drunk person buying spree. He was like, "Man, I miss being an NSYNC," and then he just bought MySpace.
And then completely wrecked it.
Yeah, he's like, he woke up. He's like, "What the fuck did I just buy? MySpace? Are you shitting me?"
No, I don't know how to run a tech company. What the fuck?
I think that's so weird.
What do I do with it?
Never would expect Justin Timberlake to buy MySpace. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
How long ago was that?
Oh goodness, 8 years ago. Yeah. That's why no one knows about it because it was so long ago.
What the hell?
Yeah.
But thank you for sitting down with us.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I really do appreciate that.
It was really cool.
Cheers,
I can't cheers with an empty cup. Can I pour some?
Have as much as you want.
Thank you.
We're drinking here.
Yay!
Yeah, both cameras.
Yeah.
I tried to pour that from very far away.
Oh shit! I was looking at that one, and I was looking. Okay.
All right, now
That's
we can
good,
cheers.
'cause it's gonna-
Cool. Thank you, my friend.
Round two.
Cheers.
Round two,
Yes.
all of us.
All together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
All right, Christian and Braden, is there anything you want to send off with?
Follow me if you want at K-Town Yamaha on Instagram, I guess. Grizzly will have an Snapchat soon. And Snapchat soon.
So we were talking about that.
Yes.
Yeah, completely forgot about that one. But make sure you go follow at grizzly.co on Instagram. Check out our website. Go like our Facebook page. All that crap. Go check me out on Instagram at ChristianRJS. Your Instagram? Did you already mention that?
Oh, I didn't even mention mine.
K-Town
Yeah,
Yamaha.
I had.
You can.
Can I?
Still slide in.
Plug
Oh,
it
yeah,
in.
go
Alright.
for it.
Oh, this is my plug time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything.
I think everything's just Strobe official.
Okay.
So it's or 5TROBE official.
That's
That's the
5TROBE.
Yeah.
5 rows.
Actually typed in
5
5TROBE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it.
And I don't know what my Snapchat. I think my Snapchat's Jason Grayson.
Yes.
Yeah. My name's spelled differently too. It's JAICEN. No one expect that. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
It's weird.
Take note.
Not weird. It's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
It's interesting.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
No.
So I think it's Jason Grayson and then Strobe official everywhere else. How about you guys? How about you?
The usual Alien Matt on everything else
Or
too.
is it Forlian?
Forlian Matt.
Forlian
Sorry,
Matt.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Forlian Matt.
Forlian Matt. And yeah, all the links will be in the description.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, thanks for watching. This
Like,
is
subscribe to the YouTube and hit that bell.
Don't
Hit
forget
that
to hit
subscribe
that bell notification to keep up to date with what we're doing. I'm Matt. This has been another exciting episode of the Grzly Den. Deuces. Yay!
Oh, snap.
Ski.
right.
Hit him with the dab.
Now we get really drunk.
Oh.
Yes, drink time.
Yippee-ki-yay.
I'm gonna